based on the campaign or based on the message that you want to put out to your consumers and the campaigns that you want to do. That's the aesthetic that you are going to reach out to, and that's what you are going to put out, so that you can reach to that market and you can bring that market in. And we've seen it with brands, you know, whether they want to use models like Naomi Campbell, or they want to use really dark skin tone models. Hi lovely people, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about what it's like being a black girl and working on a makeup counter. Like, comment and subscribe, and let's jump right into the video. So I worked on a makeup counter for probably, I would say, 4 years or a bit more. I started out doing agency and then I went on permanent with a specific brand. Prior to that, I worked on brands like Chanel, Giorgio Armani, Urban Decay, NARS, and I often feel like brands, for example like Chanel, I kind of felt so out of place because there was no complexion for me. I don't know, I think in the US you do have, but here in the UK there was no complexion foundation for me. So people that often came to the counter were not black people. I don't even think I ever served, maybe I can even count, not even feel my hand with the amount of black customers that came to the counter or that I served, because they just didn't produce the products for it. And I suppose they're not really that bothered because that's not their target market. They're a very high luxury brand. They know who they want to, you know, provide their products to, and black people is definitely not one of them. So when I was on the makeup counter, you know, for the whole day, I felt very limited, very restricted, and very out of place. You know, I felt like I couldn't really talk about or be authentic in promoting the brand or in recommending products, because it just never suited me. Comparing to brands like NARS, for example, which is the last and best makeup company that I worked for. Like, I worked for them for about 2 years permanently. Working with them was amazing. I felt like the people were amazing, the company were amazing, but I've definitely felt like being on the makeup counter or being at work, coming to work, it was definitely becoming a difficult thing. I definitely felt like segregated, I definitely felt like attacked, and I definitely felt like alone in that place. Like, I didn't feel like I could actually make real friends. And where I worked, there really wasn't many black people. In fact, if a black girl ever came onto the counter as a makeup artist, I would literally be elated, because I'll be like, oh my gosh, finding somebody that looks like me, somebody that I can talk to. Or even if I saw a black girl on another counter, I'll literally be like, oh my gosh. And you'd find that we actually, you know, we end up taking breaks together, we end up talking together, because we felt like we could stick together, because there was nobody there that looked like us. Every girl on that makeup counter has a specific way of looking, and it wasn't black or dark skin or mixed race, to be honest. I remember there was even times where I would come home and I'll be on the motorway, I'll be crying because of the experiences that I had on that shift. You know, being on a makeup counter is hard work. You know, you're standing the whole day, your breaks are limited, you know, you're constantly on the move, and dealing with that, and also dealing with some mental oppression, subliminal racism, subliminal segregation. It literally impacts you, and it impacts your self-esteem. I remember within the first year that I worked on the counter, the company used to do this annual thing where they will take you away and they will lavish on you, and they will give out all of these awards, and you stay in beautiful hotels, everything is all paid for. Oh, the life. Oh jeez. I remember going with my manager, and I've never done anything like that before. Like, I've never been to anything like that before, and going back and forth with my manager, we were just kind of like looking at what kind of you know, attire we were gonna wear, because it was like, you know, red carpet type of evening kind of cocktail dresses. You need to really like dress up, and it was a masquerade party, boat party, and we was like going back and forth, and things were like cool. When I got, and I didn't know that when you get there, because it was like a 2-day conference, I didn't know that when you get there everybody will already be dressed. Like I thought that when you get there, like you'd have time to go to your hotel and then get dressed and stuff like that. Like in the morning, like I did my makeup and everything, so I went to my manager's house, picked her up, and then we took the train together. Guys, as soon as we got there, everybody was dressed up and I was in jeans. Like everybody was looking elegant, smart. Like imagine Men in Black, yeah, how they just look like. Everybody was literally like, and I was wearing jeans. She didn't bother to tell me what, obviously she's been through this already, and obviously she would have had the memo from her manager, but she didn't bother to tell me this, that you know, just be ready, have your makeup ready, have your black clothes on, you know, because as soon as we get there it's going to be straight. Sorry guys, my camera cut out. But yeah, like there was no briefing, like there was nothing. And I even went to her house in the morning as well, and there was even a gap for me to have changed, but my girl still left me to go to London. Anyway, so I got there, guys. I was panicking, guys. Like I was literally like so annoyed. Like I literally just went to the toilet quickly, got changed, and then I had to like put my suitcase somewhere. I was so embarrassed. I felt so ashamed. Like I was literally like, I felt so alone. Like, can you imagine, yeah, like you work for one of the biggest brands, like amazing, you go on to this 2-day conference to this 5-star hotel where celebrities stay, everything is paid for, like, and yet you can't even feel the experience because you literally, like, you're looking around, the place is flooded with people, but you cannot connect with anybody. I'm gonna fast forward. So that night was the boat party. It was at London Bridge, and there was a bus that took us from the hotel to London Bridge. When we went to the coach, sorry, the girl did not even sit next to me on the coach, guys. When we was waiting at the lobby, yeah, and I was seeing managers with their team, you know, talking to them and like all having a laugh or whatever. Nobody was with me. I was just literally standing there. I was just like trying to smile at people, you know, trying to talk to like random people. She was gone. Like my girl ducked and left me, mate. And I literally felt like this is the worst day. Like I just wanted to go back to the hotel, and I literally sat on the coach by myself with an empty seat next to me. Everybody was sitting next to somebody from their team, and it was only me and her from our team. I don't know what happened to the other girls. And even when we got to the boat, she just picked up her champagne, and she picked up her Prosecco. I picked up mine, and she literally went. Guys, thank God there was a black girl. Big up you. I still talk to her till today. She literally started talking to me, and if it wasn't for that girl, yeah, I would have literally, like, I don't even know, because I was in the middle of the water. Like there's no way I could have gone anywhere. Anyway, so when that happened, I was literally like on my own. Like I spent the majority of my 2 days there with nobody. There was another incident when I was wearing braids. I had blue braids, and she literally pulled me up in a meeting because apparently you weren't allowed to have colour in your hair. She took me up in a meeting, sat me down, a recorded meeting, but these were like in where there's been clashes already between us, and she literally anyway, she ended up dismissing me and just sending me home. And you know what was the worst part about it? She didn't need to send me home, by the way. She could have just given me a warning, just be like, can you just take them out for tomorrow, like don't come back with the braids, because obviously you're not allowed to have colour in your hair. But you know what the worst part about it is? When I went home, I feel like I did the walk of shame, guys, because when she came downstairs, she told everybody like on the shop floor, because obviously like on the shop floor in House of Fraser, which is where I worked, it's like makeup counter after makeup after makeup after makeup counter. She literally spoke about me, how, oh, I'm like dumb, like literally calling me out of my name, talking about the meeting, like I shouldn't be coming to work with blue in my hair and all of that stuff. You know, when I came into work like the next day, people was like telling me like, oh, like she was proper like talking about you, and I knew she was talking about me because they were saying things in the that happened in the meeting that they wouldn't even have known. And when I tried to report her, because mate, I was like, I'm not having this, when I tried to report her, nothing got done about it. It got so bad, yeah, that obviously you're only allowed to wear all black. Guys, if my hairband was blue, she will literally pull me up in a meeting. It had to be a recorded meeting. If my boot had like white stitching, she will pull me up in a meeting, recorded meeting, and we literally clashed and clashed and clashed and clashed. And I don't know, for some reason, like I literally felt like I was always doing something wrong. And I remember there was a time where when you work on a makeup counter, you know your sales matter. You need to sell because it all gets accounted for, and everybody that comes onto the counter, they become your client. There was a whole Arab family that came to the counter, and I was the first person to greet them. So when you're the first person to greet them, they become your customer. You know, you can sit them down. And obviously this girl now came and literally shoved me out of the way, came in front of me and started talking to my clients. Guys, the way I was boiling up inside, like I literally, do you know when you when I get angry, I feel like crying? I don't know if it's just me, but I literally, like, the anger makes me cry. But I literally, like, in the middle, like, I just put my products down, yeah, and I went to my manager, that girl, I went to the manager and I was like, do you know what, this just happened. So we went upstairs and we had a meeting. Now in this meeting, things started coming up that I wasn't even aware of. The girl was complaining how she feels like I don't talk to her, I only talk to other people from other counters, and how she finds that offensive. Like, and it was literally like, you know, when you're trying to pinpoint things on people that are literally like irrelevant, it's like at the end of the day, if we don't connect, we don't connect. But if you feel like I'm not talking to you, I'm not making an effort, why are you not reciprocating back that effort? Why are you not coming to talk to me? Like, and why is this even an issue? Why am I being sat down because somebody feels like I'm not talking to them? And the girl started pouring out cries, you know, pouring out cries, and it ended up coming against me. So can you imagine, for 2 years you are going through constant. At the end of it, I literally felt like I just couldn't do it anymore. Like I couldn't be there anymore. Like I was getting so stressed and so depressed from the situation. And because these people are so influential, it's like if the manager does not like me, or the other girls can't like me, you know, like they can't be that close to me. And I remember there was a time when they fell out between themselves, and one of the girls started getting close to me, and then she started like talking to me and things started getting a little bit better. But I definitely feel like if you're working on a makeup brand that is not specifically black owned or black focused, you are going to have a hard time. You know, you have makeup counters like MAC, for example, where you will always see black girls, and maybe they feel it as well. But when you have makeup counters where it's like they want to put black people there to attract that type of audience, is very difficult. Yeah, they are trained on how to be more relatable to black people. A lot of the white girls on the makeup counters, they don't know how to color match black people. They don't know how to color match black skin. You know, I remember going to one of these brands anyway to take my mum to get color match, and my gosh, the way my mum's face looked, I was like, I beg, wipe that off. Like, it was so bad. So yeah guys, so that was partly like my experience being black, working on a makeup counter, and what it was like. You know, it's very hard. Like, it really hurts me because I loved that company. Like, I love working for that company. The company itself, like, I never felt like it was an issue. Every time I went to headquarters, like, I didn't feel any different. It's multicultural. Hopefully I articulated myself and I made sense. Like, it was a bit weird talking about this because for some reason it's still quite hard to talk about. I think it's because I really actually did love working with that specific brand, and it was really painful what I went through, but yeah, it's done now anyways, and we are cool now. If you end up watching this video, like, we are cool now. Like, it's not even anything of like built H or whatever. It was just my personal experience, and yeah, you know. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and please do like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Bye, love you.